pilot wannabe for today's flight. We're already in progress here, as this is a part 2. We're pretending that we purchased the Cessna 414 and we're taking it home. We'll talk about where we're coming from and where we're going in the flight plan after the intro. See you there. Okay, on Sky Vector here, we took off from, where were we? Lexington, Kentucky at the Bluegrass Airport. And we're hitting a couple of VOR waypoints, one in Cincinnati and one near, southeast of Indianapolis. And then flying home to the Purdue Airport in West Lafayette, Indiana. There's a little bit of clouds on here, let's say. Not really so much there. There's some clouds there. Not much there. I'm not sure what the wind's doing now. I had to pause the game for a long duration. Let's see. Mostly crosswind on the final legs of it and a little bit of a tailwind on the way. So not a big deal on the wind either. I don't know what the weather's going to be like at our destination. I mean, I know it's fairly mild here now. I don't have the time in the simulator set to the real time anymore since I had to pause it for a long time. I ran it back to roughly where we were at when we left off. Otherwise, it would be in total darkness. Oh, I left the weather thing on. Let's turn that off. Okay, not much to talk about here. We'll get back in the plane. I'll see you there. Okay, everybody, we're just about. We just now hit our cruising altitude. So I'm gonna break out the cruise checklist. I'm sure I'm not going to remember exactly what engine settings to do. Let's see, auxiliary fuel pumps both off, which turned them on before takeoff, and they stay on all the way to cruise. Let's see, 1000, 1000. Want to make sure the engine stays running. Okay, both engines stays running. Auxiliary fuel pumps off. Throttles 21 to 34. We'll come back to that. Propellers 21 to 2500. We'll come back to that. Mixtures lean to desired fuel flow. Cal flaps as required. Yeah, okay, I guess we got to think about the throttle here. Think about the power settings. I had looked up a chart. I probably have a chart on my phone, but we're just going to wing it for this relatively short flight. Yes, some of my flights are more like fights, but yeah, short flight. We're going to say like 31.5, 31 and a half seem to be a setting sometimes, and 2400, and we'll bring it back to around 100. We'll say, actually, we're going to watch the fuel flow here, the pounds per hour, and that's conveniently right next to the EGT gauges. Thinking we're gonna be around 110 pounds per hour per engine. But we'll see what that does to the EGT. We can go lean of peak on this. There's basically peak. And now we're coming down 25 degrees lean of peak. And that's about 50 degrees lean of peak. Yeah, 115 pounds. Say 114 pounds. If I can get it centered up on the left engine. Yeah, okay, 114 pounds per hour per engine. That seems good. Temperatures should be good. Yeah, we don't have any other temperature, engine temperature gauges in here, other than the dumb ones here, which are showing just barely over 300. degrees on the cylinder head temperature. If it gets below 300, I'll probably close the cowl flaps, but they're open for now. Okay, so let's see. We did the engine settings, mixtures lean, cowl flaps as required, annunciator panel monitor, engine instruments monitor, alternators monitor, and vacuum system monitor. And then it's the descent checklist. All right. Let's see. Everything seems to be working properly. Let's look at the pressurization here. Yeah, the cabin pressure, even though we're at 12,000 feet, the pressure inside the cabin is barely above sea level. I'm looking at that right. Let's see, close to 1,000, close to like 900 feet is the cabin pressure. Nice. Now we should check the cabin temperature, because I had set it too high earlier. I've lost the needle on this. I thought maybe it was, because it's a red needle, I thought maybe it had gotten up into the red, but I feel like the needle is gone now that I had it paused for several hours. Let's try turning the temperatures down more, just in case the needle is lost in the edge of the red there somewhere. Let's see if we get anything. Yeah, because I mean it's 35 degrees outside, Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius. So it's not warm, but it's not frigid either. I mean, you know, fly up and I've had this plane above 20,000 feet routinely, and it's, you know, I've seen temperatures of negative 35 Fahrenheit. So yeah. I guess we'll just keep an eye on that, although I need to turn the screen off because it'll kill the battery. Turn the screen off. My timer got messed up too in the pausing. Apparently the timer kept going or something. It had a really strange reading when I unpaused it. It had like a negative numbers or something. I don't know what was going on with it. So I just reset it. Doesn't really matter. Let's see what we got going on in the GTN 750s here. Let's see, we can run this out significantly. Yeah, there's our first turn. Out some more. 40 miles, sure. Let's run this out to 5 miles. There we go. All right, there's the wind speed and direction. Ground speed is 218 knots, not bad. True airspeed, 208 knots. The heading we're on, there's the desired track, 01. This is the estimated time en route to the next waypoint. This is the distance to destination. I don't remember picking that one, distance to destination. Is this the ETE to destination? I feel like I don't need both of those in a way. I don't necessarily need to know both of those. But anyway, 40 minutes. Let's see, we'll have, we need to get down to 1600, we'll say, for a pattern altitude. So if that was 2,000, we'd have just over 10,000 to lose. We can drop to 1,000 feet per minute comfortably, so only 10 or 11 minutes of descent. That's assuming we don't do an approach or something. Let me see what the current weather is at the Purdue Airport. Let's see here. Oop, I clicked on the wrong thing on my phone. Current weather. Visibility is 10 miles. VFR conditions. The wind. It's looking like we want to use runway 10. Wind is right on it. 3012 is the 30.12 is the barometric pressure, and it's a 13 knot wind coming from 090. All right, we'll double check that as we get a little closer, but I'm thinking we'll just do an actual visual approach. We'll kind of come in around the airport and do a downwind for runway 10. Sure, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. Well, what else should we talk about? I want to talk about. Okay, this is a Cessna 414A Chancellor. I don't know what year specifically this one's modeled after, because they started the 414A Chancellors in '78 and quit making them in '85. And from the pictures I've seen of ones for sale, they all of the years that they made it were pretty homogeneous. They looked the same. So I don't know what year this is supposed to be, but at the same time they were making another model that is very, very similar. Cessna was making another model that was very, very similar. It had I mean, like, they're so similar that it's hard to tell them apart if you're seeing pictures of them. They use the same fuselage, wings, and they're just everything inside looks the same. The panels and the pedestal and all of this stuff over here. Everything looks identical. Windows, it's just the same fuselage and everything. And that was the 421C Golden Eagle. And I said in the first part of this, the first half of the video, that this 414 Chancellor is my dream plane. If I won the lottery, it would be my goal to own and fly one of these. There is no 421C Golden Eagle in the simulator, but I kind of feel like I would maybe be okay with one of those, because they are nearly identical. It's a very similar experience seeing the inside of them, and even from the outside they look very, very similar. The only difference is the engine nacelles. The engine nacelles on this one, on the 414, are all smooth on top. The engine nacelles on the 421C have a hump here, and the propeller comes out higher, comes out of that hump, out of the top. And that's the only way you visually can tell the difference. We just made our turn there, by the way. The only way you can visually tell the difference is the big hump on top of the engine nacelle, and the propellers come out of that. And the propellers are larger. Each propeller blade is longer on the 421C, and the engine's power goes through a gearbox, a transmission, and it's like a reduction gearbox. And the RPMs are lower. The pictures I've seen, the red line is like 2,100, and it goes down to the green goes down to like 14 or 1,500 RPMs. The whole RPM band is lower, and planes, the 421 Golden Eagle, I think has a little bit higher service ceiling, flies just a little bit faster, and is a little bit quieter in the cabin because of the lower RPMs of the larger bladed propellers. But otherwise, the planes seem just about identical. So, I don't know. I suppose I'd be okay with a 421C. My dream in the simulator, my dream would be for Black Square that made the Duke to make just as high a fidelity add-on aircraft as the Duke, but make it out of a 421C Golden Eagle. That would be phenomenal. That would be a lot of fun. Okay, what else should we talk about? In case you didn't see the first part, I'll show you the outside of the plane. It's my favorite plane. There's something about it. Besides its features and what it can do, just really like the appearance of it. Really like how sort of flat it is on the bottom. Oh yeah, I was wondering. All this time I've assumed that the cowl flaps were the louvers on top here, but I'm realizing now that these might be cowl flaps, and we're going to find out. Because I'm going to close the cowl flaps, and we'll see. Okay, how's our engine temperatures? Yeah, they're a little below 300 now, so we are going to close the cowl flaps. Probably get a smidge more, maybe another knot or two of speed with the cowl flaps closed, if that's them out there. All right, let's get back inside. Yep, that was the cowl flaps. Okay, yeah, all this time I thought it was like 310 where cowl flaps were louvers, the louvers on top. But nope. Okay, back inside here. Alrighty. Now let's check see if anything's changed on the cabin temperature gauge. Yeah, I lost the needle somewhere. I don't know what happened. Unless that's it, buried on the hottest it can go. That doesn't make sense though. I don't feel like I've got it set nearly hot enough to be doing that. So we're gonna close all of these. I'll make these all on the cold end. Open this back up. And we're gonna set the fan to circulate. Let me double check that the heat isn't on, that the heater isn't on. Yeah, the cabin climate control system's all over the place in this plane. I talk about that in the first one. So this is the fan for the heater. So if I flip the switch on, it turns the gas-powered heater on, and then this is low and high. It's in off right now. Yeah, low and high for the heat. You've got the air conditioning system here. This is the temperature. This is the blower off. Well, actually, it's just low or high on the switch, and then the air conditioner on, off, or just fan circulate there. And then you've got the defrost and vent plungers here, and the temperature controls here. So yeah, it's kind of a lot. Okay, I don't see anything yet. I guess we'll give it some time. I think we jinxed it or something. We glitched it out by pausing it for 4 hours or however long it was I was gone. Okay, so what do we got here? We got 12 and a half minutes to the next waypoint. We got 32 minutes to the destination. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording for now and catch back up with you guys right after the second waypoint. We'll evaluate when we're going to do our descent and things of that nature. Okay. All right, see you guys back in a minute. So it occurred to me I haven't in part 2 revisited the page for the airplane we were pretending to buy. It's this one, 1980 Cessna 414 for $429,900. I don't know why you just wouldn't make it $430,000 at that point, but sure. Yeah, this one looks very much like the one in the simulator, although the can't tell if this is dark blue or black down here, and it's definitely dark blue on the livery in the simulator. But otherwise, it does look very much like the plane we're flying in the sim. And the interior, trying to get to the interior even looks very similar. And except I don't have the fake mirror in the back the way the simulator plane does. And we don't have a better view of that. And they have a G600 as well as the two 750s. So that's nice. That would be the way I would want it. This would be exactly the plane I would probably want. The hours and stuff on it aren't even bad either. One engine is a little over halfway to overhaul time, and the other engine's only about a quarter of the way to overhaul. So nice. Okay, let's see you back in the plane. All right, we're 4 minutes from the final waypoint and 24 minutes from our destination. So we've got a good 13 or 14 minutes before we need to start descending. I want to go over a couple other things. One thing is you can't get your own registration number on this mod in the game, or I should say, sorry, I've been playing VMIN-G lately, so everything's a mod to me now. This add-on, you can't get your own registration number in this add-on. It'll say it on the ATC, of course, but visually, these the different liveries you pick come with specific registration numbers that they're modeled after, and there's nothing you can do about it. And also, I finally determined that pausing the sim for 3 or 4 hours somehow broke the cabin temperature minigame. So we just won't be playing that. As a matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and put the tablet away. Get that out of the way. What else was I gonna say? Seemed like there was something else I was gonna point out. Oh, I realized I hadn't demonstrated the tables. There's tables and cup holders back here. I know it's silly, but there it is. I don't have any passengers back here for this flight, so we're not going to mess with it. I mentioned in the first half of the flight, that the passengers you get back here visually are the same passengers you get in the Learjet 35A that's also by Fly Somewhere. And that's the reason that some of them don't seem to be looking out the windows in the Learjet, because the windows in here are larger, and their models, the physical models, were made for this plane where they're looking out the windows. So you've got a spot for a satchel here, or a briefcase. Got like a stereo down here, and some kind of a drink dispenser and cups and stuff. Yeah, weird. I've seen some of them for sale. I didn't notice in the ad for this one. I've seen some of them where they have a gauge up here, a digital display that gives you the outside air temperature and the speed that the plane is going. I'm assuming ground speed that the plane's going. That'd be kind of fun to have. Okay, let's double check our engine temperatures since I closed the cowl flaps. Yeah, the temperatures came up a little bit. I'm actually gonna open the cowl flaps back up halfway, and then we'll close them. Close them. Then when we go to descend, I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure it's on the descent checklist. Closing the cowl flaps. Well, since we've got a good 10 minutes to go till we need to descend, I'll go ahead and pause the recording again and get back with you when we're about ready to run the descent checklist. See you in a minute. Okay, we've got a couple minutes before we need to start descending. I need to break out the checklist here. There's something else I thought of while I had the recording off that I was going to mention, but it escapes me now. Let's see, we got 13 and a half minutes, yeah. Yeah, we've got a minimum of 10 minutes of descent, so. The descent checklist. Fuel selectors both on main, yeah, check. Pressurization set to field elevation. I usually do that as the descent begins. Cowl flaps closed. Throttles reduced gradually to control engine temps and speed. Mixtures adjust to control engine temps. Altimeter set for field conditions. And I guess that's it for the descent checklist. I did start receiving the weather from Purdue. Here it is. Yeah, 3010. Wind 097. That's pretty close to what reality is. Oh yeah, the one thing I thought of, if you didn't see the first half, and I was talking about how this is my favorite plane and the one I would want to have in real life, part of the reason is that it's a pressurized plane that, well, the main reasons, it's a pressurized plane, flies very high, very fast, has a very long range, so all of that is in common, it has in common with the Duke. But one thing this plane has that the Duke does not have is under this seat right here is typically a potty seat. So if you're on a long range cruise, you can, you can have it more comfortable than you would in the Duke. So there's that. Let's see. Let's start getting ready for the descent. We want to get down to 1,600 feet. So I'm going to crank this down. I wonder if I could do it with the knob on my autopilot. Yes, I can. Check that out. Here we go. 1,600 is going to be our apparent altitude. I want to try to come in just to the north of the airport and do a downwind for runway 10. I'm going to go ahead and put the CDI needle on 10. And there we go. And let's see, we have 11 minutes. Let's go ahead and begin the descent, shall we? Let's see if I can do it with the autopilot box. I'm going to hit the VS vertical speed button. Yep, there we go. Crank it down to 1,000 feet per minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and drag the throttles back. I'm just going to go 2.5 psi lower to start with. See, I never did turn on the prop sync, so I don't need to worry about that. Yeah, there's a YouTuber I watch. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He flies a real Cessna 421C Golden Eagle, which, like I said, is very, very similar to this plane. And he always reduces his manifold pressure like 2 psi every 2 minutes or something like that, or 2 psi every 4 minutes. I forget. He's got it to where he doesn't reduce it very quickly because he doesn't want to shock cool the engines. And I actually commented on one of his videos and asked why he never talks about cowl flaps, and he says that the 421 doesn't have cowl flaps. It's so nearly identical to this plane, but for some reason no cowl flaps, so he doesn't have a way to retain the heat when he's descending. But still, just the same, I try not to just yank back on the throttles in this. Not that we can genuinely break the engines, but just the same, I try to keep the temperatures up as we're descending. We're picking up speed though, of course, so that's always a problem. We're going to go ahead and drop a couple more PSI. And so far, I don't really need to adjust anything else. And I just heard the sound of like a switch flipping, like a toggle switch flipping, and I can't imagine what that would have been. Cannot imagine what that would have been. Okay, let's zoom that in a smidge. Heading bug's pretty much on heading. When we get a little closer, I'm going to want to veer off to the right a little bit, so we're not heading straight over the airport, then we're going to kind of go around it a bit. That's my plan anyway. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. engine temp's doing. Still up around 300, a little over 300 degrees in the cylinder head temperature. So yeah, not too bad. And our speed is up to 228 ground speed, so let's go ahead and drop it down to 25 psi on the engine. See if we can get back down. We were only running just over 200 ground speed before we started the descent. I don't want to be crazy faster than that, or we'll arrive at the airport too high. Oh yeah, other things we needed to do. We needed to change the barometric pressure to be 3010, and we needed to put the pressurization system to change that for our arrival. The thing is, though, you're supposed to put it, my understanding anyway, is you're supposed to put the pressurization at about 500 feet above the actual elevation of where you're landing. Now, the elevation where we're landing is 600 or 700 feet. I've already got it set below what would be, I mean, it's already set to right at like 600 or 700 feet. So I'm inclined to just leave it there, and we'll keep an eye on it and just make sure that it's zeroed out before we dump the pressure, so we don't don't bust our virtual eardrums. See, both alternators are still doing okay. Vacuum system's still okay. I still don't know why that vacuum needle glows when I hover over it. Oh, this one glows too. I do not know what that's for. I need to look at the change log to see what updates they did, because those didn't used to do that. I'm sure of it. I spent a lot of time in this plane in the past. The hour meter on here probably, if there's an hour meter somewhere, probably doesn't reflect it because I had to uninstall and reinstall the plane. But I've got a lot of hours in this plane, and I don't remember those needles glowing when you hovered over them. So something is afoot over there. Let's see. Do we need to bring it back anymore? I'm pretty comfortable with the power setting at the moment. I'm going to increase the mixture some to see if I can get the EGT back up some. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alrighty. Forget, does the glove box open on this one? I don't spend much time over here. Oh yeah, see, the glove box opens and there's actually stuff in there. There's a couple of pencils and a flight safety manual and some little notepads. Manual inside, it says. Yeah, this is my favorite plane. It may not be as quite as detailed in the systems as a couple of others, but I mean, as I just discovered in my previous video, the planes that are supposed to be breakable are not quite as breakable as one might suspect. So the fact that you probably can't under any circumstances break the engines in this one, I mean, what does that really matter when it's that hard to break them in even the Duke, which is so highly detailed? I don't know, just something about the idea of knowing that you can break the engines makes you more careful. Anyway, let's see. Oh, only about 4 minutes away. Yeah, we're perfect on the glide path. I think we're going to switch to heading mode though and veer off to the right a smidge. Heading mode. There we go. Notice I'm not bothering calling the tower and all that stuff. As I have said before, we'll do an actual IFR in sim flight sometime. One of these times, although I don't know, this might be the last video I make before Flight Simulator 2024 comes out. We'll see. This will either be an extra video or it's gonna be one I save till the weekend to release. I don't know. We'll see. Yep. there's Lafayette. To recognize some areas. Curious what it's going to look like in the new sim. Very curious. Yeah, there's the airport. See lights flashing here. And we're going to go slightly more to the right. Yeah, chances are if I was asking for VFR clearance to land, they would just tell me to enter left traffic for runway 10 anyway, and so I feel like that's what I'm doing. I mean, I would be in contact with them telling them what my plan is, that I'm going to be overflying the eastern edge of the airport and then turning on a left downwind. Oh, these things are always blinking at me. Uh-oh, how'd they get over here? There we go. Recenter. There we go. Zoom out. This one's blinking at me too. Yeah, it's unhappy that I'm off course. 1.5 miles, 2.5 miles. Actually, I'd rather have this one 1.5 and this one at 2.5 for now. Okay, we got another minute and a half of descent to go, and we're just over a minute out. Yeah, let's go ahead and back the engines off some more. Let's get down to 22.5, sure. Yeah, we are going a little fast. I probably should have gone ahead and backed them off a little more earlier, but that's all right. Okay, I can't get any more heat out of the EGT, so we'll leave that alone for the time being. Oh my God, these things are flashing at me again. Good grief. Always with the flashing. Yeah, our airspeed's way too high to start doing anything like landing lights or any of that stuff, unfortunately. But we'll be leveling off shortly. Yeah, I came in too fast. I gotta dump some more power here. We gotta get slowed down. Now we're gonna turn on to downwind, although we're still a little high and fast. We can make it kind of a long downwind. Yeah, we're not at a bad distance for the downwind. I don't think, anyway, in my completely amateur opinion. We're in a good location. Airspeed's still too high by a goodly margin to even put out the landing lights, much less the landing gear. Oh, it's coming down in a hurry. Okay, doing landing lights and landing gear. That'll get us under control in a hurry. Okay, I'm not going to bother the first, we're well below the range for the first stage of flaps, but I'm not going to worry about it until we turn on base. Yeah, we're pretty close. I think I'm going to take over manual control when we turn on base, as opposed to swinging the heading bug around. Okay, killing the autopilot. Well, not killing it, just disconnecting it. And it'll get us on a base. Save all of the flaps until we're on final. And I'm looking at our speed. Let's turn it on. Actually going to give it a little power. There, I'm going to up the RPMs to the top of the green, and I'm going to go full on the mixture. turning on to final, trying not to nose up so bad. I'm also going to try to open the cowl flaps. Yeah, opening the cowl flaps. Whew, overdid the turn there. Didn't like that. Open the cowl flaps, going for a stage of flaps, regular flaps. Probably supposed to turn the fuel pumps on. Yeah, and all of this we didn't hit the approach. We didn't do the approach checklist, but I have done this a few times in this plane. I think we'll be all right. I'm turning the taxi lights on too, so we got all the lights on. Okay, can stand to be descending just a little more. Okay, another stage of flaps. We got one more. The great big air brakes that come down. Okay, yeah, this is about the point where I want to start getting below the blue line over here. So far, I am not. I'm going full forward on the props now, too. Let's see, we got 3 green on the landing gear. Cowl flaps are open. All the lights are on. The props and mixtures are full forward. We got one more stage of flaps. Coming in just above blue line at Purdue University Airport and West Lafayette. And runway 10. All right, going full flaps. The runway lights are levitated up in the air above the runway again. That happens sometimes. Okay, pulling the throttle back. Go. A little float at the end, but not bad. Okay, flaps coming up. Just panicked for a second, looked at the computer to make sure I'd actually hit start recording this time. And giving it some brakes. Pulling off the runway, and then we'll take a look at the approach and landing checklist and see what I screwed up. There's bound to be something I forgot. I think first we're going to turn the noisy fuel pumps off because I don't know about you, but I'm wearing a headset, and those things are noisy. All right, turn the fuel pumps off and up in the throttle a little bit to get it to 1,000 RPMs. Let's also switch the transponder to standby. Let's turn off the landing lights and the strobe lights. And let's see, we got the cowl flaps are already open, so oh, that seems well and good. All right, take a look at the checklist here. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, now that we're on the ground, we need to depressurize. So we switch the switch from pressurized to depressurize and pull the dump valve. Okay. Yep, nothing happened. So we had that set up good. All right, we did the descent checklist before landing and landing. Auxiliary fuel pumps both on low. Yeah, I did that. Yaw damper off. Well, I didn't really do that, did I? Because it's part of the. See if I'd killed the what do you call it, all the way, the autopilot all the way, it would have killed the yaw damper. Look at that. Why is it blinking like that? Oh, just because it takes a second to disengage. Okay, I'll have to remember that next time. I'm not actually that used to this autopilot. I've only flown this plane a few times since they made the GTN 750s available. I used to have just a 530, 430 combo and a ancient autopilot down here with a big toggle switch for the yaw adapter, or yaw damper, sorry. See, prop sync off, never used it. Landing gear down below 178, yeah, we did that, obviously. Extended the landing gear at 178, flaps at 171. Cabin climate control, we abandoned some time ago because we broke it by pausing the game for 3 hours. Flaps, second notch at 140. Cowl flaps open. See, on final, you're supposed to be flaps down, mixtures full rich, propellers full forward, approach 90 to 95. We came in a little fast, of course. After touchdown, flaps up, pressurization off, and pull ram dump. Once you're clear of runway, that's the stage right now. Strobes off, did that. Transponder on standby, did that. Auxiliary fuel pumps off, check. Pitot and stall heat, there we go. Pitot and stall heat, that's the pitot. I don't have a button slaved for the stall heat. I don't even know if it's possible. Cabin climate controls as required. Again, I'm not sure it's going to matter because I think we broke it because the needle's gone, showing us what temperature it is inside. But it's only 54 outside, so I'm sure it's not overly hot in here. We'll go ahead and leave that up for now, I guess. Clearance, obtain clearance if required, and we're not talking to ATC at all, so no clearance from Clarence today. And then the shutdown checklist, which we'll do after we get it parked. Okay. And heading over to park it. I think I'll open this window over here and get some more engine noise. There it is. Engine noise in my right ear. Okay, it says we used 252 pounds of fuel. Doesn't seem like a lot, really. You could switch it to gallons and see what that is. In gallons, I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, that's right. The amount remaining was messed up. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. We've still got over 3/4 of a tank in the tanks. Fuel system's easy on this one. Just a tank in each wing. No tip tanks, no auxiliary tanks, no external tanks, no center fuselage tanks, no transfer pumps, none of that crazy stuff. Just a tank for each engine and a way to cross feed them in case you lose an engine. Yep, definitely my favorite plane still. We'll pretend we got a hangar over here. Park it up in front of a hangar. This has got really wide landing gear though, so probably got the left main gear in the grass at this point. Okay, good enough. Engaging the parking brake. Back to the checklist. Shutdown checklist. Parking brake set. Check. Timer stop. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It got all messed up. Lights, nav on, all others off. So, nav is on, all others are off. Throttle idle. Okay. Cabin climate controls off. Yeah, we don't have the air conditioner or the blower on right now. Avionics master off. Check. Mixtures cut off. Check. Notice it didn't close the window like some of them do. I like that. And you can hear the engines ticking while they're cooling. That's always cool too. We're going to close the window though. Okay. Magneto's off. Alright, that's over here. Can't make the switches work for that. Magneto's off. I could use this crash bar to turn them all off at the same time, but that's okay. Magneto's off, lights off. Alright, nav lights off. Battery and alternators off. I've got a switch for the alternators. The battery I have to hit manually. Fuel selectors both off. We'll go ahead and close the cowl flaps while we're here too. Wheel chocks install. Parking brake release. Switch this back over. Wheel chocks and release the parking brake. All covers install. Engine plugs, tie downs, static wicks, pitot covers. Done and done. Okay, let's I'll pretend to get out, and I'll open the door manually this time so you can see that, since I just used the tablet previously. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do is unlatch the top. You'll see this little green bar go away. And then you gotta hit the strap over here, swing the top out, if I can. Why is it not going? Well, that's weird. That's usually what opens it. That's strange. Okay, like I literally did this earlier today. This was not a problem. I'm stumped. We're stuck in the plane. Jeez, it's always got to be something, huh? Look, it even says that the upper door is open on the tablet, and it's not. Huh. It just must be a glitch because I left it paused for hours and it didn't like it. Doesn't approve. Well, the bottom opened on its own. And if you want to close it, you click here to bring the bottom part, the air stairs, back up. Okay, we'll do a little magic editing and pretend we're getting out. Okay, now we're pretending to get out. Well, that was a little fast. Like I was diving out. I was just happy to get the door open, apparently. Yeah, I wish I could get my registration number on there, but c'est la vie. So that's my favorite plane. They don't really make anything like this anymore. To the best of my knowledge, the only modern twin-engine airplanes, modern light twin-engine airplanes, are the Diamonds, the DA-62 and DA-42, and I think Beechcraft still makes the Baron. I'm not sure what else there is, but there's nothing like this where it's what they called a cabin class, where it was a large enough interior that you could move around inside. You could switch seats and stuff like that, and had the little potty seat in the back and stuff like that. And they literally stopped making planes like this, in like 1985. So, 40 years ago? And these planes are still sort of a hot commodity on the used market, so I have no idea why they stopped making planes like this, but they did. The newest one you can get would be a 1985. So, yep, it's pretty neat though, and hope you guys enjoyed that flight. We'll probably use this one. I'm thinking maybe if I get another flight in before 2024 comes out, I'll probably take this one on a leg of the lower 48 capital cities tour, since I got the controls all set up for it and everything anyway, and I like it. It's going to be too short of a leg to use this kind of plane, but this plane will be much better suited when we get out west on that. But by then we'll be well into Flight Simulator 2024. And I'm not sure what kind of video the first one I'll be making after the new sim comes out. Probably just exploring what it looks like around my home airport and stuff. Who knows? Anyway, I guess that'll wrap it up for this one. So, see you guys in the next one. Papa Whiskey Bravo signing off.